Part 102. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1011. Chapter 1011. If you miss this opportunity, you will really be alone for the rest of your life. That's not what she said. Moyesi saw that she was doing it on purpose, and chuckled softly, then leaned over and pinched the tip of her nose. Little one, you know what I want to hear. Chiao Mian laughed lowly, her eyes flashed, and she looked weird. You have heard it, why do you need me to say it again? I want to hear it. Moyesi caught her little hand, squeezed her soft palm, and whispered coaxingly, say it again, and I will help you analyze what just happened. Chiao Mian. No one knows my eldest brother better than me. My analysis will definitely be useful to your bestie. Baby, do you want to say it again, eh? The man lowered his eyes with a slight smile. Chiao Mian raised her eyes, and the moment she met his eyes, she saw the tenderness in his eyes. The man's eyes looked at her, full of extreme love and tenderness. As if she was the most precious treasure in the world to him. For a moment, Chiao Mian was extremely excited. The words that I felt a little embarrassed to say just now, at this moment of pounding heart, I said it so naturally. Moyesi, I said I like you. I really like it very much. I want to be with him for the rest of my life. Stay with him until he grows old. The man raised his head, his deep eyes full of tenderness. Say it again, baby. Chiao Mian couldn't help laughing. She reached out to hold his handsome face, looked at him intently, and said word by word, Moyesi, I like you. Say it again. Moyesi, I like you. Say it again. Moyesi, I like you. Say it again. Chiao Mian. This man is not done yet. Are you still addicted to listening to it? Do you really like hearing people confess to him? Okay, don't you want to listen to my advice? How about I tell you now? Knowing that the man who just gave up when he was ready did not continue to tease her, after thinking seriously for a moment, he replied seriously, according to my eldest brother's temperament, if he decides to do something, he will devote himself wholeheartedly to it. He will do that thing very seriously and attentively. If he really proposed to date Zhongluli, I believe it was definitely not a decision he made on impulse. He would take everything we considered into consideration. But since he still made such a decision, I believe he has thought about how to balance work and love. Chiao Mian was stunned for a few seconds. So, do you think they can be together? As long as they are both willing, of course they can be together. Moyesi curled his lips and said, it depends on human factors. Being with my eldest brother is indeed not as simple and easy as falling in love with ordinary people, but there will always be a solution. Baby, when we are together, can't we just fall in love like ordinary people do? However, as long as you care about someone enough, you will be willing to accommodate a lot of things. Moreover, these accommodations are all voluntary, and you will feel happy if you pay for the person you like. After listening to his words, Chiao Mian was silent for a long time. She felt that what Moyesi said was quite reasonable. Speaking of which, she and he didn't get tired of being together every day. When we first got together, we didn't spend much time together. Furthermore, her career also destined them to spend less time together and more time apart in the future. But she didn't think these problems were that big of a problem. After Moyesi's analysis, she now felt that Zhongluli could be with Mo Shixiu. Luoluo is my best friend. Chiao Mian raised her head from his arms with a very serious expression. So, Moyesi, tell me the truth, do you think Luoluo and eldest brother are really suitable for each other? If they date together, can the eldest brother really make Luoluo happy? Moyesi also answered her seriously, baby, I can't give you a definite answer now. Whether they are suitable or not depends on them getting along. As for the latter question, I believe that my eldest brother is capable of giving a woman happy. As long as he wants. If you ask me for advice, my advice is that you don't get involved in this matter. They are all adults, and it is up to them to decide what choices they should make. For me, of course I hope they together. With a personality like my elder brothers, if I miss this opportunity, I will really be alone for the rest of my life. Chiao Mian Mian. Has anyone ever said this about his eldest brother? He said that someone with a character like Mo Shixiu might live alone for the rest of his life, but he himself was not the same. Moreover, his situation is probably more serious than that of Mo Shixiu. Mo Shixiu is just busy with work and has no time to fall in love, but he is directly allergic to women and cannot touch women. Okay, Chiao Mian Mian thought for a while and sighed softly, then I won't care about anything. Luoluo is so smart, I believe she knows how to choose. Don't worry, Mo Yesi could tell that even though she said that, she was actually worried inside, so he reached out and touched her head to comfort her. If she rejects my brother, you have nothing to worry about. But if she accepts my brother, you don't have to worry. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1012. Chapter 1012. With her little determination, I don't think she can resist it. Chiao Mian Mian looked at him and blinked. Mo Yesi pondered for a moment and said, my eldest brother is a very independent person. It can be said that no one can influence him on the things he decides. In this regard, he and I are very similar. Mo Yesi knew what she was worried about, so he gave her some reassurance first. We are all the same. We decide things ourselves. Unless we want to change our minds, others can't influence us. Even if it's a relative, it's the same. After hearing his words, Chiao Mian Mian really felt a little more at ease. I have to say that Mo Yesi understands her and what she is worried about. She was worried that Zhang Luli, like her, was also disliked by MRSMO. You will be wronged by MRSMO. After all, in terms of background conditions, Zhang Luli's family background was much worse than hers. MRSMO is extremely disdainful of the Chiao family. Not to mention the Zhang family, which is much worse than the Chiao family. She had only met Mo Shixiu once before. I don't know what kind of person he is. If he was the kind of man who was very filial to his parents and obeyed them in everything, he would definitely not be able to protect Zhang Luli fully. Mo Yesi must have seen what she was worried about. That's why I said what I just said to her. Then guess, will Luoluo and eldest brother be together in the end? Chiao Mian Mian thought for a while, looked at him and said, they made an appointment to have dinner together tonight, and Luoluo will talk to him about this matter. You said what will Luoluo choose in the end? You want me to guess? Mo Yesi raised his eyebrows slightly. Well, guess what? Aren't you the best at guessing other people's psychology, and you guess it accurately every time? She was so accurate that she thought he could read minds. So, she really wanted to know what he thought Zhang Luli would choose in the end. Baby, although I can guess other people's psychology, I don't like to guess other people's psychology. I am only interested in what you think in your heart, and I only want to guess your heart. Chiao Mian Mian. Is this the rhythm of flirting with each other even if they don't agree with each other? The corner of her mouth twitched, she shook the arm holding him slightly, and used a coquettish attack. Lolo is not someone else, she is my best friend. Just guess for me, I know your favorite all right. This trick is indeed very effective. With a helpful expression on his face, the man immediately complied with her request and carefully analyzed it for her. If you ask me what I think she will eventually agree to date my eldest brother. Chiao Mian Mian was startled and asked in surprise, why? She felt that Zhang Luli would reject Mo Shixiu. Even though Mo Shixiu is really a very good man. But for a girl like Zhang Luli, freedom is the most important thing. At least that's how she knew Zhang Luli. Mo Yesi smiled and said, for no reason, didn't you say she was a pretty dog? Chiao Mian Mian. My eldest brother's face should be very attractive to her. If she is really a pretty girl, my eldest brother must be very attractive to her. With her little determination, I don't think she can resist it. No matter how sane she was before, once she sees my eldest brother, she will definitely lose all sanity. If she is determined to reject my eldest brother, it is best not to meet him in person. If she refuses on the phone, the success rate will be much higher. Chiao Mian Mian. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1013. Chapter 1013. Honey, do we want to make a bet? That is to say, she should not go to the appointment tonight. Once she goes to the appointment, I guess she will definitely become my eldest brother's girlfriend tonight. Chiao Mian Mian. However, Luoluo said that she and her eldest brother were not suitable, and she was determined to reject him. Well, that's what she thinks now. But after meeting my elder brother, I may not think so anymore. That's why I said, if she wants to reject my eldest brother, she shouldn't meet tonight. Mo Shixio's face is very attractive to women. So even the character of a veteran cotter has little influence. Once a woman sees him, no one will look down upon him. Mo had arranged several blind dates for him before. Each time, the woman fell in love with him and fell in love with him at first sight. It is because of his face and Mo family background, otherwise not many women would like his dull and boring personality. Zhang Luli is the same age as Chiao Mian Mian. At this age, with little experience and insufficient characterization, it is difficult to reject a man who is mature, steady, handsome and a gentleman. Baby, do we want to make a bet? Looking at Chiao Mian Mian's doubtful and confused expression, Mo Yesi chuckled, stretched out his hand to rub her head. If I guess right, you promise me a request. If you guess correctly, I will grant you a request. Chiao Mian Mian hesitated for a moment, then became interested. You agree to any request? Well, correspondingly, you must agree to any request I make. Chiao Mian Mian hesitated again. She knew very well how perverted this man Mo Yesi was in certain aspects. She didn't even have to guess, she could think of what kind of request he might make. Honey, do you dare to make this bet with me? Let's see if you know your bestie, or do I know better? Okay, then let's make a bet. Chiao Mian Mian didn't believe it. She didn't know Zhang Luli as well as the man beside her. They are good best friends who have eaten, lived, and slept together for several years. How many times has Mo Yesaki met her? Even if Zhang Luli is a pretty girl, she is not the kind of girl who will lose her mind and become dizzy when she sees a good-looking man. She believes that her best friend will not be seduced by beauty. Asterisk. The other side. After he and Chiao Mian Mian separated, Zhang Luli followed the two bodyguards to Mo Yesi's house in the suburbs. Everyone who stayed in the house should have been notified. As soon as Zhang Luli got out of the car, he saw Sister Lin standing by the fountain. When he saw her, he walked over with a smile on his face. Miss Zhang, you are here. Sister Lin liked Zhang Luli very much. This girl left a good impression on her, and she was someone their husband cared about, so Sister Lin became even more interested in Zhang Luli. It is the first time in Mr. S life that he cares so much about a girl. As servants, they naturally love her. Besides, Mr. has such a good taste, any girl he can like is naturally good. Ms. Zhang, are you hungry? Is there anything you want to eat? I made some pastries that were just baked. Would you like Miss Zhang to try them? Sister Lin came up and hugged Zhang affectionately. Luo Li's arm. It was as if he were meeting his own daughter, with a loving and approachable attitude. Zhang Luli also likes Sister Lin. Last time she stayed here for dinner, Sister Lin was particularly enthusiastic about her. Before leaving, she packed a lot of pastries and snacks for her to take back and eat. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1014. Chapter 1014, Miss Zhang is the only one who receives this kind of treatment. Seeing Sister Lin, Zhang Luli showed a smile on his face. Sister Lin, I'm not hungry. Have you been waiting here? The sun is so bright outside, you shouldn't wait outside. Sister Lin held her arm and walked toward the white building. She smiled and said, I just came out for a while, so I won't be exposed to the sun. Besides, I'm not one of your young people. My skin is white and tender and can't withstand the sun. I have rough skin and rough flesh, it doesn't matter if it's in the sun. After walking into the hall, Zhang Luli saw many maids doing cleaning work. She asked curiously, why are there so many people cleaning at this time? Generally, cleaning work is done in the morning. Sister Lin looked at her and smiled, because Miss Zhang is coming over, of course she has to do the hygiene again. Zhang Luli looked surprised and pointed at himself, is it because of me? Yes, Sister Lin said, Miss Zhang is someone that Mr. Zhang values, so we naturally have to pay special attention to her. This is also what Mr. Zhang means. Zhang Luli was startled again. For some reason, his heartbeat suddenly accelerated a lot, and there was a slight warmth on his face. She pursed her lips, her cheeks flushed and said, is this what Mr. Mo meant? Mo Shixiu, would you let someone do this? She didn't really believe it. That man looks very cold, and he can propose a date like going to the mountains to watch the stars, which shows that he definitely has a straight mentality. As a straight man, he shouldn't be so attentive. Yes, of course this is what Sir means. We all do things according to Sir's instructions. Sister Lin lied without blushing to gain favor for Mo Shixiu, so I say that Sir values Ms. Zhang very much. This kind of treatment is unique to Miss Zhang. Hearing what she said, Zhang Luli's face became even hotter. The heartbeat is also faster. I didn't expect that the straight man Mo Shixiu actually had such a considerate side. Am I the only one? She bit her lip, her heart beating rapidly, but with a very calm look on her face. She asked as if nothing had happened, hasn't he treated other girls like this before? Of course not, absolutely not. Sister Lin quickly denied it and said solemnly, except for Miss Zhang, my husband has never treated other women like this. Let alone other women, they don't even have the chance to come here. No. Miss Zhang is the only woman that Mr. Zhang has brought here. This is your husband's residence, and it is a place that is very important to him. If he does not value the person, he will not bring him back. Miss Zhang, judging from these 2 points alone, your husband's feelings for you, you should understand. It can be said that Sister Lin grew up watching Mo Shixiu. When she was still at the old house, Sister Lin was responsible for taking care of Mo Shixiu's food and daily life. Because she took good care of him, Mo Shixiu later moved out on his own, and she followed him here. So, she not only has a master-servant relationship with Mo Shixiu, but also has a family relationship between elders and juniors after getting along for a long time. Seeing that such an outstanding gentleman in her family was almost 30 years old, with no one to accompany him, and the focus of his life all day long was work, Sister Lin didn't say anything, but she was extremely anxious in her heart. I'm afraid that Mo Shixiu will focus on work and stop considering personal issues in the future. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1015. Chapter 1015. She didn't agree to move here at all. What a pity it would be for such an outstanding man like Mr. to never get married in his whole life. Sister Lin has been worried like this for many years. As Mo Yesi gets older, she becomes more and more worried. Sometimes, I'm even so worried that I can't sleep. Now that Mo Shixiu has finally enlightened and brought a woman back, Can Sister Lin be unhappy and ignore her? She knew Mo Shixio's character. Have never been in love, and have no experience in getting along with women. Although the conditions are excellent, Sister Lin is also worried that Zhang Luli won't like his dull personality. After all, little girls like romance and sweetness. Her husband is obviously very bad at this aspect. As a person who hopes that her husband can get married as soon as possible, when she can help, she must help. Strive to settle your husband's lifelong affairs as soon as possible. Zhang Luli's face grew hotter and hotter at Sister Lin's straightforward words. With her tomboyish personality, she also showed a bit of shyness on her face. Seeing her like this, Sister Lin even struck the iron while the iron was hot and said, "My husband doesn't value Miss Zhang more than that. Today I also ask someone to quickly arrange the room where Miss Zhang lives. You know, my husband is usually very busy, yes, but he was there to watch when I was decorating Miss Jiang's room today. This is the first time I have seen your husband spend his time on other things. Only Miss Zhang can receive such treatment. Because of Miss Zhang, your husband has been going home a lot more frequently recently. Before, there was almost an empty house here. Mr. rarely came back." Yes, really, Zhang Luli didn't know whether what Sister Lin said was true or false, but she could feel her heart beating faster and faster. "Yes, you don't know how often my husband has come back before. As you know, he is busy working all year round and lives outside most of the time. It's pretty good to come back once or twice a month. But since I met Miss Zhang, my husband has been back these days." Although he didn't say it, if it weren't for Miss Zhang, why would he come back so often all of a sudden? Thanks to Miss Zhang, this house is finally no longer as deserted as it used to be. After Miss Zhang moves here, my husband will definitely live here. That time when she met Mo Shixio, Zhang Luli didn't feel how much the man cared about her. In her opinion, he was pretty good to her, and it was because of that night. He felt he owed her. The special things he did to her were just something he wanted to make up for. But now when he heard Sister Lin say this, it made Mo Shixio seem to like her very much. Zhang Luli is also a novice emotionally. Mo Shixio is another person she admires very much. What does it feel like to be liked by the man you admire? Even though she felt that Sister Lin might have misunderstood Mo Shixio's behavior, the little deer in her heart was still beating wildly uncontrollably. "Miss Zhang, your husband will come back later. He told us to entertain you well. Miss Zhang, do you want to see your bedroom now? It is under the supervision of your husband personally. You will definitely like it." Zhang Luli. She never agreed to move here. That man, Mo Shixio, is too domineering at heart. She didn't want to see the room at all, but when she saw Sister Lin's expectant eyes, she couldn't bear to refuse. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1016. Chapter 1016. A room full of pink. No matter what, Sister Lin is sincerely good to her. "Okay, let's go and have a look." "Okay," Sister Lin said happily. "Miss Zhang, come with me." Asterisk. Zhang Luli has thought that a man as tasteful as Mo Shixia would definitely have a tasteful decoration style in the room he personally monitors. But when she saw an entire room decorated in pink, she was so shocked that she froze at the door. She thought she had gone to the wrong room. Miss Zhang, seeing her standing at the door and refusing to go in, Sister Lin thought she was too happy, and immediately praised Mo Shixia with a smile. "Do you think this room is very beautiful and has a dreamy atmosphere? Many of the things inside were ordered by the husband himself. Sir said that you are a girl and you must like a romantic and dreamy style, so this room is decorated in the style of a pink castle. The curtains, bedding, various decorations in the room, and the decorated bouquets are all made by Mr. Determined. Mr. Zhang is really attentive when it comes to Miss Jiang's affairs. Zhang Luli. Well, she made sure she went to the right room. This room is really her bedroom. You said that Mr. Mo personally selected everything in the room for me. She was so shocked that she was speechless for a long time. After a minute, she finally accepted the fact. Yes, Sister Lin worked hard to help Mo Shixiu improve her favorability. Ms. Zhang has done everything personally. Zhang Luli. She was really curious as to why Mo Shixiu thought she liked such a style. Her appearance is not that of a little loli. The pink color all over the room really made her head hurt. There are pink roses, pink lilies, and pink baby's breath on the bedside tables and shelves for displaying accessories. The air was filled with a sweet floral scent, so sweet that Zhang Luli couldn't help but sneeze several times. Sister Lin immediately turned her head and looked at her nervously. Ms. Zhang, are you feeling uncomfortable somewhere? Do you have a cold? Do you want the doctor to come and take a look at you? No, 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 Zhang Luli said quickly, fearing that Sister Lin would really call the doctor. I just think the flower scent is a bit too strong, and I choked. The fragrance of the flowers is too strong. Sister Lin looked at the bunches of flowers in the room and was stunned. She immediately called a maid and asked her to remove 2 bunches. Zhang Luli just felt that the fragrance of the flowers was a little lighter. She followed Sister Lin into the room. The bedroom is large. It is more than 5 or 6 times larger than the room she lives in now. Just now I was standing at the door and couldn't see everything in the room at a glance. After walking in, Zhang Luli realized that what she saw at the door just now was nothing. Not only is everything in the room pink, there are also a lot of stuffed animals and stuffed animals. What she couldn't stand the most was that even those stuffed animals were all pink. Zhang Luli looked at it and almost collapsed. She really couldn't understand how Mo Shixiu's good taste could be distorted like this. Does he think she is a 3-year-old child? At this moment, her cell phone rang. She took it out and saw that it was Mo Shixiu calling. She hesitated for 2 seconds and then picked up. From the phone, a man's cool and magnetic voice came. Ms. Zhang, are you already here? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1017. Chapter 1017. Isn't it good for multiple people to take care of you and love you? Zhang Luli was silent for 2 seconds, looking at the pink color in the room that made her dizzy, and said softly, Mo Shixiu chuckled and said, have Miss Zhang visited your room? How is it? Do you like it? Zhang Luli was silent again. How would she answer this question? It would be too much against your will to say you like it. She doesn't like this pink-toned decoration style at all. She would collapse even if she stayed in such a room for half a day. Say you don't like it, it seems to be someone else's intention. Especially because Sister Lin repeatedly emphasized that many things were decided by him personally. She didn't know how to answer, so she simply remained silent. Miss Zhang, her silence made Mo Shixiu on the other end confused. Miss Zhang, why don't you say anything? Is there something about the decoration style that you don't like? Zhang Luli, Mr. Mo, can I ask you a question? Well, you asked. Why do you think I like pink things? Mo Shixiu, what? Zhang Luli looked at the pink rabbit placed on the bedside and twitched the corner of his mouth again. In Mr. Mo's eyes, am I just a little girl? Ms. Zhang is only 19 years old this year. Mo Shixiu over there chuckled. His voice was not as cold as when the call was first connected. It sounded much gentler. At this age, she is a little girl. He really treated her like a little girl. Zhang Luli frowned and said with a bit of dissatisfaction, Mr. Mo, I am an adult. Although I am not very old, my thinking is very mature. I am no longer thinking like a little girl. So, Please don't treat me like a little girl. On the phone, the man laughed softly and gently. Ms. Jong, for a man who is about to turn 30, at your age, you are just a little girl in my eyes. A little girl who needs to be protected, loved, and cared for. You asked me not to treat you like a little girl, so how should I treat you? Treat you like a mature woman. Jong Luli was very dissatisfied that he called her little girl. She frowned even more. Yes, I am a mature woman, not a little girl. Mr. Mo, I stress it again seriously, I am not a little girl. I have long had the ability to stand alone. I am an independent woman in terms of both my thoughts and abilities. I can take good care of myself by myself, and I don't need others to love me or take care of me. I don't know why. Jong Luli especially didn't like being treated like a little girl by Mo Shixiu. Although, he is 10 years older than her. With such an age difference, she is indeed just a little girl in his eyes. However, she just didn't like this feeling. They both slept together. He actually thinks she is a child? How is she so young? Being independent doesn't mean that you don't need others to care and love you. Mo Shixiu patiently reasoned with her. When you can take good care of yourself, more people will take care of you and love you, isn't it good? It's a good experience to be cared about by others. Having multiple people care about you will not only not affect your current life, but will also make your life experience better. Don't you want to give it a try, Ms. Jong? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1018. Chapter 1018. She no longer even had the desire to speak. Jong Luli knew what he meant. He was talking to her about dating again. It is undeniable that Mo Shixiu is really a very charming man. It also particularly tempted her. It is really difficult to reject a man like him. But at this moment, Jong Luli's mind was clear and rational. She knew clearly that no matter how tempting this man was, she couldn't have him. Ahead is a trap covered with tempting candies. It is tempting but also dangerous. If you accidentally fall in, you will never be able to get out again. After analyzing the various stakes, Jong Luli took a deep breath and said calmly, Mr. Mo, when can you come back? I'm already in the car. Miss Jong, do you want to see me early? The man said in a serious tone. Jong Luli. Mo Shixiu, are you teasing her? Still, he just meant it literally, she was just overthinking it. Thinking of his character as a veteran cotter, Jong Luli felt that she was probably overthinking it. How could a man like him be able to flirt with women? If Mo Shixiu knew how to flirt with women, he wouldn't still be single now. According to his conditions, he would have been married a long time ago. The reason why he is still single now must be because his character is too boring and mature, and he is not liked by women. And he also has a very straight-minded mentality. From the time he invited her to look at the stars in the mountains to the time he arranged an all-pink room for her, these behaviors were only done by a straight man. How many women would like a straight man? When will Mr. Mo arrive home? Jong Luli ignored his question. If Miss Jong is in a hurry, I'll ask the driver to drive faster. We'll be there in about 40 minutes. Jong Luli, I'm not in a hurry. The man seemed not to have heard her words. He chuckled and then said, if Miss Jong feels bored, you can go to my study to read and pass the time. Or go to the exercise room to exercise. I saw Miss Jong last time. I feel that your physique is not very good. Regular exercise can improve your physique and be beneficial to your physical and mental health. Jong Luli. She no longer even had the desire to speak. Mo Shixiu, he is really a straight man until he can no longer be straight. He actually asked her to read a book and do some exercise to pass the time. How does this man's brain circuit grow? Is he serious? Moreover, he just said that she was in poor health. She dared to guarantee that with his character, if he hadn't been blessed with a good background and a good skin, no one would be able to match him in the blind date market. he is definitely the kind of man who can never have anything more to do with someone after he is done with them. Ms. Jong should eat more. I know that you girls now like to be thin as beauty, but being too thin is not good for your health. No matter what, you should still put your health first. But it doesn't matter. From now on, when Miss Jong lives here, I will ask the nutritionist to take care of your body. Jong Luli. How is she so thin? She obviously has the most standard and healthy figure, okay. Although she is thin, she does not look shriveled at all. The places where flesh should grow are well grown, and the places where fat should be thin are evenly thinned. Her figure has been praised and envied by countless people. So far, only Mo Shixiu, a straight man, disliked her for losing weight. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1019. Chapter 1019. Don't misunderstand our relationship. And he also expressed his dislike directly. She felt that a straight man was not enough to describe his weirdness. Listening to his repeated sermons, Jong Luli had the illusion that he was being taught by his elders. By the way, Miss Jong. You haven't told me yet, do you like the room decorated for you? Jong Luli. She was so tired that she didn't want to talk. Mr. Mo, let's wait until you come back and we can talk. Jong Luli felt that if she continued to chat with Mo Shixiu, she might be so angry that she would have a myocardial infarction, so she decided to end the conversation proactively. I'll wait for you. Okay, Mo Shixiu said warmly, let's have a good chat after we meet. Then Miss Jong, I'll see you later. Well, see you later. Jong Luli finally hung up the phone. Beside her, Sister Lin looked happy and asked her with a smile, did Mr. call here? Is he coming home soon? Yeah, Jong Luli nodded and met Sister Lin's eyes that looked like she was looking at a daughter-in-law. Her face was a little hot and she pursed her lips and said sheepishly, he said he might not be back for 40 minutes. Sir, you've finished your work, so you should rush home right away. Sister Lin covered her mouth and smiled, with a tease in her eyes, I've never seen him so active before. Sure enough, it's better to have a woman at home. This is what feels like home. Jong Luli's face turned even redder after being teased. She looked at Sister Lin's happy expression and thought that Sister Lin must have thought that she and Mo Shixiu were already together. Mo Shixiu's various behaviors also gave other people this illusion. He even had someone decorate her room. In the eyes of others, they are just together. Looking at Sister Lin's happy look, Jong Luli couldn't bear to see the disappointed expression on her face, but he felt that he should make the matter clear. Let no one misunderstand us any longer. It is impossible for her and Mo Shixiu to be together. Aunt Lin, after hesitating for a moment, she decided to tell Sister Lin the truth. Actually, Mr. Mo and I are not together. We are just ordinary friends, and I will not live here in the future. Aunt Lin, please don't misunderstand our relationship. What? Sister Lin was stunned and asked in surprise, you said you and your husband are not together. Yes, Jong Luli liked Sister Lin very much and couldn't bear to disappoint her, but he still had to say, Aunt Lin, Mr. Mo and I will not be together. There will definitely be a mistress here in the future. But that person won't be me. So, Aunt Lin, please stop teasing me and him. The joy on Sister Lin's face slowly faded. She didn't think Jong Luli was joking, but, sir, Mr. Jong said that Miss Jong will move here. We all live together, but not together yet? Sister Lin really can't understand. I didn't agree that he would move here. Jong Luli stretched out his hand and rubbed his eyebrows, looking a little helpless. It was him who asked people to move my things and decorate the room. It was also his own intention. I didn't agree. His. Sister Lin opened her eyes wide and was stunned. Ms. Zhang, do you mean that your husband forced you to do this? It's not forced, but everything he did was without my consent. Sister Lin kept her dumbfounded expression for a while, then murmured in a low voice, "It's really surprising that Mr. Lin would force a girl." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1020. Chapter 1020. Oh, what a pity. Zhang Luli was also surprised. She also didn't expect that Mo Shixiu had such a domineering side in his heart. He looks so gentleman, so polite. At first glance, he looks like a gentleman. It is really hard to imagine that he would sometimes force others. It turns out that I misunderstood. Sister Lin was so happy at first that Mo Shixiu finally found a woman to go home with, but now she is so disappointed that everything was just her misunderstanding. She looked at the extremely beautiful girl in front of her, and her heart was full of regret. This girl is a perfect match for their husband. And the husband is indeed very unusual towards her. According to Mr. S character, he does such things as forcing her, which shows that he really likes this girl. For the first time in his life, my husband finally found a woman he was interested in. In the end, the other party didn't like him. Her husband must have good looks, a good family background, and his work ability is quite good. Miss Zhang, why don't you like it? Sister Lin really liked Zhang Luli and really hoped that she could be with Mo Shixiu. She still held on to some hope and asked without giving up, Miss Zhang, what do you think is wrong with your husband? Yes, because he is too busy at work. Is Ms. Zhang worried that she will not have much time to spend with you in the future? Aunt Lin, Mr. Mo is very good and has excellent conditions. I said it is impossible for us to be together. In addition to his work reasons, there are many factors. In short, I am not the right person for him. I think it's okay for us to be friends. Does Miss Zhang not like your husband at all? Sister Lin sighed regretfully, but I think your husband likes you very much, so Miss Zhang really doesn't think about it anymore? No matter what the problem is, as long as two people like each other, it's all it can be overcome. Zhang Luli was silent. She certainly has a good impression of Mo Shixiu. Just that good impression was not enough for her to give up all her worries and accept him. Seeing that she had stopped speaking, Sister Lin thought that she had asked something she shouldn't have asked, which made Zhang Luli unhappy, so she immediately said, Miss Zhang, did I ask too many questions? If it makes you happy. No. Zhang Luli took Sister Lin's hand and said hurriedly, I'm not unhappy. Aunt Lin, Mr. Mo is really good and outstanding, but he and I are really not suitable to be together. Let Aunt Lin down. Yes, I feel sorry. Oh, what a pity. Sister Lin also knew that emotional matters could not be forced. Although she felt it was a pity, she could only accept the reality. Well, even if Miss Zhang and Mr. Zhang don't become lovers, they will still be friends in the future. Miss Zhang can still come here to sit here often, and Mr. Zhang doesn't come back often. This huge house is very deserted, and Miss Zhang wants more come and stay with me, this old man. Aunt Lin, I can do it. Asterisk. 40 minutes later. Zhang Luli was sitting in the hall drinking tea with Sister Lin when he heard the sound of cars outside. Mr. is back. Sister Lin's face showed joy and she stood up and said, Ms. Zhang, let's go out and have a look. He must be back. Zhang Luli nodded, stood up and followed Sister Lin out. As soon as I walked out of the building, I saw a black Rolls-Royce parked next to the fountain outside the door. The driver got out of the car first, walked to the back and opened the door. Mo Shixiu got out of the trunk. He was dressed very formally, with a white shirt, black trousers and a black tie. End of this chapter.